Welcome. In this video, I'm going to describe a few strategies for when your golf ball is up against the curb around the green. Hi, I'm Ken Martin, PGA instructor and golf program instructor here at Keiser University College of Golf. If you haven't done so already, be certain to subscribe to our channel. Now, what is the curb? Here around the green, we typically have three cuts. So we have a green height cut, a fringe cut, and then either a fairway or a rough cut. Now, I'm on artificial turf here, so it's not quite as high as it can be, but the curb is this connection between the collar and the rough cut. And what happens oftentimes is the golf ball backs right up against it. And the difficulty in this shot is that there's a lot of grass that can get between the ball and the club face, especially if you're trying to use a putter. So you end up with sometimes hitting a shot that doesn't have any energy on it. So instead of using a putter, I'm going to suggest three different clubs that you can use that will help you get this golf ball out with some energy so it'll still almost roll like a perfect putt. The first one is actually going to be your sand wedge, or you could use your gap wedge. Bottom line is, instead of using the club face, which would also get grass between the ball and the club face, we're actually going to use the leading edge. So you're basically going to stroke this club like a putter, only your goal is going to be to try to make impact with the golf ball around the equator. So not below the equator, but right on the equator. And all that's going to do is make this golf ball roll like a putt. Now, the fact that this club has so much loft, the grass basically is not going to there's not going to be as much grass between the ball and the leading edge. And so therefore, the sand wedge can really limit that interaction, which means the ball will still come out with some energy. The other benefit we have is bounce. So this bounce on the bottom of a wedge will actually push some of that grass down as you're approaching the ball, and that'll allow this golf ball to roll. So that's the idea, and that's your intention. So it looks something like this. I actually just use my putting stroke. I use my putting grip. I stand close, and all I'm trying to do is brush the grass level so I contact the ball right in the equator. If I get it above the equator, it'll bounce out like that, but still it rolls a nice distance. The next club you can do this with would be your hybrid, because it's going to give you the same idea. It gets the loft, gets the face out of the way so that you don't get a lot of contact of grass between ball. And some people just like it because there seems to be a little bit more margin for error because you have this nice flat sole so that you're not going to stick the leading edge in the ground. And again, it's more of the same. I like to hold down on the handle, still use my putting grip, and I'm just going to make a motion that's nice and level and try to catch the ball right in the equator. You can see that one didn't bounce at all, so I caught it right in the equator, and pretty good distance control. The third way you could go about this is to actually use a putter if you happen to have a putter that's an answer style. So there's all kinds of different makes of this, but what's nice about this is this blunt nose. And with the blunt nose, you can actually contact the ball in the equator. And because it's so narrow, you have even less interaction with the grass. So again, you'd have to hold that a little bit differently, turn it sideways. But again, same idea, nice level stroke, and catch the ball in the equator. So you can see that those three golf balls basically went about the same distance, and it's a function of limiting that contact of grass between ball and club face.